created a wave, although it's not perfect by any means, because I did bring my ink, my blue ink. But okay, so you got different lengths of kayaks, obviously. Some of the kayaks are very small, short, flat boats that are meant for surfing, obviously. Some boats are shaped where they're part surfboard on the outside rails, but they're kayak down the middle. Some are just true kayaks. Anything that floats will surf. I see the guys, the big wave surfers, take a floating island with inflatable palm trees out. They pipe one. So, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. So when you're paddling, the wave's coming up behind you. Okay, let's start with just getting out. You know, when you start from the beach, when you're going out through a wave, you've got to go perpendicular to the wave. If you're even slightly off perpendicular, the water energy is going to hit this end of the boat first, and it's going to immediately spin the boat around like this and wash you out sideways. So you've got to make sure that when you're going into the wave, you're going straight into it and you're paddling. And the very last thing I do as the nose hits the wave is I get one last hard push and I hold the paddle parallel to the boat. And the reason for that is if the wave blows across the boat and hits your chest, there's a lot less surface area presented this way than if you're like this. Also, if you're like this, the hydraulics can grab the paddle and the paddle shaft will clean you out. Even if it's a feathered paddle, it'll catch hydraulics enough to do that. So make sure that as you're paddling the wave, the very last thing you do is give one last hard stroke just as the nose is reaching up the face of the wave. And if it's breaking over you, which it often will do, you just wait till you're up, starting to punch out the back, and then you're already set for the next stroke. So that's the two things that you get when you hold a paddle parallel to the wave, is that you're presenting less surface area for the wave to kick you backwards, as well as right at the end of the stroke, as you're punching out over the wave, you've got another full 100% stroke right at the end of that. So then you punch out through the wave and keep going for the next one. If, however, you get up and you didn't have enough speed to get over, what's going to happen is the boat's going to start to backslide down the wave, and then two things are going to happen. You're either going to pitch pull over backwards, or you'll come around sideways and wash out sideways. Washing out sideways isn't such a bad thing. When you're being flushed sideways, you sit in the boat, you ride it, your boat's going to start crawling up the white water, and when it gets to the top of the wave, because your weight is predominantly put behind the center line of the boat, the nose will start to drift downhill again as soon as the back of the boat can clear off the back of the wave. And if you go from a brace stroke to a rudder stroke, you'll be able to kick the boat around and make another drop. So remember, when a wave is, whenever you're getting spit sideways, you immediately have to put the paddle into the whitewater flat and surf it sideways. And if you don't have knee straps, what's going to happen is the boat's going to wash away from you, you're going to flush off the backside, and now your boat's getting tossed. I'm going to ride it on my paddle just like this. And what's going to happen is the paddle's going to skid across the water with the water speed, and that's what keeps you up. So when I used to give lessons, that was one of the things I would teach people, is you'd go right into the surf zone, sit sideways, and just relax, and as soon as the white water came up and smacked you sideways, they would just automatically brace, come out surfing sideways, and just keep going right. When you're coming downhill from a wave and a wave is coming up behind you, you know, you don't really have to start paddling. You can get your momentum going. If it's a smaller wave, you have to get your momentum going sooner. If it's a bigger wave like this, you know, you can parallel to the boat or perpendicular to the boat. Whenever you're going to do an enter, you want to hold the paddle parallel to the boat. Because the first wipeout I ever did in my kayak over here at the Mokes, you know, on a big day, 6-foot bases, was I pitch pulled like this in a longer boat. Once I pitch pulled and the wave energy pushed the boat up like this, the volume pushed the boat up, and I came over like this. Because I was holding the paddle like this when I went over, and me and the boat went through the paddle, shattered the shaft. So that's why you want to hold the paddle parallel to the boat, because that distributes the wave energy away from it. Now when you start to pitch curl, there's another option. When the boat starts to pitch curl, if this is the pit, if this is where the wave is pitching out, and this is the shoulder, I'm going to lay a brace to my right side, so the paddle's going to be right here. I'm going to use the knee strap to put the boat up on its edge. The nose will pop out, the boat will drop and turn, and I'll surf right off the shoulder. I'll be in the boat